Amy Campos, I see you there. Could you just let me know where you work? Amy Campos, can you send maybe in the chat or something? Just identify yourself. Your registration was not complete. All right, so Amy Campos, could you please, your registration was incomplete. Could you please tell us where you work? It says, what year were you hired at the CTA? You said no. So, all right. Everyone else here is a repeat. All right. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let you in if you can't tell us who you are. Gotta give us a clue. Hmm. Let me just figure this out right here with Amy. I hate to kick people out, but Amy's logged on, not responding. The registration was incomplete. I don't know who this is.
Hey Eric, how you doing?
All right, brother. How you doing, brother Robert? I know
I'm
I
doing.
owe you some information for a 4x6.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good, brother. I know you busy, but I was gonna say that might be Miss Election Commissioner Annetta Perkins. I doubt it, but that could be her because they got the same initials and the same last name. Yeah, but she's a boss agent though. She might not be on there.
We have an Andre, so that is not the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that is definitely not the one.
Okay. All
But
right,
thank
brother.
you, thank you for looking out for us.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Is
Sister,
my mic on?
you sound great. I'm just getting your agenda on screen. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, cool.
You hear
I had
you
to
hear
mute
me?
it because yeah, it was sirens going off in my background. Sorry about that.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay, good.
Yeah. 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 So you all should see, do y'all see conversation with Sister Kendra? The
Yes,
on
I
screen?
I
Do y'all
see
see
it.
it?
Yes.
It's an
Yeah.
agenda.
Yep.
Okay, good, good, good. All right. So, okay. All right. So I'm gonna be Kendra. Um, you are the captain of this ship. I am
Okay.
your first officer here. So just tell me whatever you need. Just tell me. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Well, first I want to thank everybody for joining. I appreciate it. And this conversation is not about attacking anybody or creating division. It's really about education, awareness, and transparency. And just giving workers a space to discuss issues that directly impact our livelihood. A lot of us don't fully understand these policies and processes until we personally go through them. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do it. Honestly, I done been through this several times. So, with
I
me
think
going
this
through
is
it,
time
so
number 3 for you.
yes, it is, unfortunately. Um, just to summarize it a little bit, I was discharged for excessive absence in 2020, and I fought and got the job back. And then I was discharged again in 2023 for excessive absence. Um, both cases were due to health issues, and they called it excessive absence, which I did have FMLA, short-term disability, short-term, all of that. And this time they can't get me for excessive absence, so they're trying to say because I didn't do this climbing in the train, which is not in the SOP, that I am, in the words of Mrs. McCoach, I am a liability to the company. So that's the reason for me doing this because I've actually been educating myself a little more than I would have if I wouldn't have went through this. So I've actually been with CTA on paper for 13 years. And, dealing with this refresher training, it was an issue. So this is the second time I had an issue with a refresher. The first time was when I came back in September 2024. And I've been just trying to navigate with, understanding the CTA policies, how the accommodation work, how to communicate with management, the ARC, what work statuses are. But instead of that, a lot of it that I have been receiving as of now is everything is just pending, 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 pending. Initially, I was denied my reasonable accommodation, so I redid it, and now it's pending, and it's been pending since what we this May, right? Okay, so my last day of working was March 9th. Well, I didn't work. That's the day I went to the training. So March 9th. And I haven't been at work since. So there's no clear timeline at all with what's going on. No one has reached out to me. Um, besides Eric Brazier, but nobody has reached out to me from the union, management, no wellness check, no anything, no nothing. Just I don't know. I don't know what's going on at this point. I know it says on paper I'm still an employee without income, pretty much. So that's that. And okay, I don't know if a lot of people understand that. Me and Eric was talking about it earlier. Remember we was talking about AP 1010 and 1017, Eric?
Yeah, you want it up?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hang on, it's coming up.
Okay, no problem.
Which one do you want first, 1010 or 1017?
Okay, put 1010 up first.
Sorry, I just grabbed 1011.
You
Hang on.
okay? I was gonna say you put your stuff up.
Give me a second.
Oh, that's the 605.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm switching. Hang on. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
She's gonna write me up for poor work performance. Okay, I'll have to grieve it. Okay, go ahead. You see it, right?
Definitely. I see it. Do everybody see the administrative procedure 1010? I don't know if y'all see it.
Yes.
Just tell me if you
Yep.
need me to zoom in. Tell me if you need me to zoom in or scroll down, okay? I'm just gonna leave it right here.
Okay. So I have educated myself on these because I actually had a manager tell me, Tisha Shabazz, that I should be in AP 1010, which I don't understand because a lot of members get AP 1010 and AP 1017 confused, but they're actually two different processes. AP 1010 is mainly about being medically unable to work due to a non-work related illness or injury. It deals with short-term disability, medical leave, medical documentation, and return to work procedures, and you being fit and unfit for duty. Under AP 1010, you're generally off work because CTA or medical service believe you cannot currently perform your job duties. It focuses on leave status and medical documentation, disability benefits, medical clearance, return to work. It involves the third party administrator, medical services, and return to work evaluation. That's AP 1010. So pretty much that's for a person who can't do anything, like they're just out. That's pretty much what sums it up for me personally. If you read, you will see the same thing. Now, you can put up AP 1017, Eric, please.
You see it?
I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so with AP 1017, it's a difference. The difference is this policy deals with reasonable accommodations for employees with medical restrictions and disabilities. So under AP 1017, the Accommodation Review Committee, which is ARC for us, reviews requests for accommodations. The purpose is to determine whether the employee can still perform the essential functions of the job with some type of accommodation. In my situation, I can. I'm just, telling about myself. But in my situation I can. I am a CSR. So I work at the train station, meaning I do customer service. I can deploy a gap filler on the train. I can assist customers giving with the fares and stuff like that. Um I can report stuff being out of service, all that good things, and give refunds and stuff like that. So the ARC can approve, deny, or defer the request. In my situation, it's being deferred. The policy talks about interactive process between the employee and CTA. In my situation, we didn't go through an interactive process. They just took me out of service, unfortunately. And like I said, out of service is for me the escalator at the station, the elevator. I'm not out of service. I'm a human being. You can't put a human being out of service, but oh, okay. So I don't want to, because the language that they use, out of service, I really don't like it, honestly, personally, because I'm not out of service. But I am laid off because I don't have any income. So that's what it just is. No income results to being laid off, regardless if you're out of service or not. When you don't have no income, you're laid off.
And I want to let
So
everybody know that when I was in our executive board meeting and I motioned for Local 308 to donate $100 to our union sister for hardship, they said, she's not laid off. That's not true. I said, yes, she is. No, she's out of service. And they talk like the boss. They think like the boss. They defend the boss, and I want people to know that our president, our presidents, and all the officials, with the exception of one, Brother Renato, were very much against uh, any kind of support for our sister. And they continue to talk about her like she's a machine that's out of service. So this is disrespectful. I just wanted to add that.
I think somebody was saying something. Was it Robert? Robert, you had something to say? I see your name pop up. Mhm. Is it Robert? I don't know.
Might be
Okay.
a mistake
Um,
there.
if they let me know if you got something to say, but so I just feel like members should pay attention to this with AP 1017. Itself does not clearly say that employees must automatically be taken out of service while waiting for an accommodation decision. That is something that they do on their own. That's one reason many employees, including myself, have questions about how the process actually is being handled in practice because there's nowhere in there where it states that you have to be out of service while they're making a decision. Mind you, before this training, I was working perfectly fine. And another thing, when I did the training before, I forced myself to do something because I was coming back to work. I had been off for almost a year. I came back with no back pay, but I needed the medical. I was still going through chemo, and I climbed those stirrups in that train where I injured the port. I could have I could have did a lot of worse damage than what was done, but by me doing that, my doctor told me don't ever do it again. So in my situation, the port is temporary, but I'm a cancer patient, so yes, it's temporary, but it's temporary for a significant amount of years, like 4 or 5 years, because they just want to make sure. So it's like it's a lifestyle change. So to be considered a liability is kind of insensitive because I mean I can work, I just can't climb up in the train as of right now. It don't mean I'm never gonna be able to do it, but like in this moment, I can't. So that was just another important point I wanted to make about the AP 1017. It talks a lot about essential job functions. So essentially, that's not a job function for me to be climbing in the train and walking the tracks because when we walk those tracks, we have to call control and get authorization. It's nothing we can just do on our own. We have to be authorized. Anything you have to be authorized to do is not an essential job function. And that matters because there can be disagreements over what is truly an essential duty of the position versus something added later through training or operational training changes. Hey, Kathy,
Hey, how you doing?
how you doing? I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. I'm just thinking how rotten they treat people, and like you said before, and we've all said it, and everybody in the job knows it's true. If they want to give you an accommodation, take care of you, make sure you have a job so you can pay your rent and everything, they'll do it. But if they don't want to,
Absolutely.
right? If they don't want to, it's pending, it's bullshit. I think you said that before. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It,
Yeah.
it definitely is because, like I said, AP1010 pretty much to sum it up, it means you're medically unable to work right now.
Hmm.
AP1017, you can be accommodated that allows you to continue working. So
Hmm.
that's what they do to a lot of people. They try to put you in AP1010 instead of going through the interactive process of AP1017.
Um,
So
Kendra,
that's the huh?
I put
Yeah.
up the job description for CSR.
Okay.
So so if
Cool.
anyone want to look at it, there's nothing in here about climbing a stirrup,
Nothing.
a
Hmm.
ladder,
Nothing.
a
Nothing at
stirrup.
all.
There's nothing.
And
Not one
then
thing.
our SOP was just updated and what was that? 2023 or 24?
I forgot,
I
but
think
it's
it was
recent.
20.
It's recent.
Yeah, so it was I'm not sure it was either 23 or 24. Nonetheless, it still does not state in the SOP anything about climbing up in the train. So a lot of times they try to have members. So in my situation, and in the few people who inbox me personal situation, Penny always tells them, well, just file short-term disability so you can have a little income. But my thing is with that, that's $150 if they don't take out taxes a week. And also, who can live off $150 a week, literally, to take care of the bills? But when you do that, short term disability puts you in AP 1010. AP
Oh.
1010 then turns into 605. Then it turns into you can't return to work and you'll be discharged medically discharged. That works for CTA. It doesn't work for the individual. In my situation, when she
Mhm.
personally on the phone asked me to file short-term disability, I stated to her, unemployment. I'm not filing that. I'm filing unemployment for lost wages. Well, you can try. I am going to try and I'm going to get it because this is not right.
And and
Which
and the CTA denied you, and then you appealed it.
yes, I did. They denied me the first time and I appealed it. And when I appealed it, CTA did not show up to the appeal. It was just me and the adjudicator, and I was granted the unemployment. So I'm grateful for that. Naturally, it's not what I would make, but it helps me stay afloat until I figure everything else out. But it's just like it's sad I had to even go through all of this. I shouldn't even be going through all this. So
And I want everyone to see that there's nothing in the updated standard operating procedure for stirrup, for ladder, climb, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. That they there's no reason to lay her off.
none, none at all, none at
All
all.
this stuff that she can do all this stuff.
I was doing it.
And you know, well, I'll be quiet. You go ahead. You got the agenda.
Okay. So pretty much, but what I'm going through, the accommodation process has lacked communication and clear timelines. I was repeatedly told my request was pending, but no one could tell me how long the process was. or how long it will take. One question I continue to ask is, what does it clearly state that the employee must be automatically taken out of service while waiting for accommodation? Decisions. I always get a blank email. Like I send it, there's no response. I send it, there's no response. I was told that there's no complete timeline on when they'll make a decision, but initially you made a decision ASAP. And now you're saying there's no complete timeline on when you will make a decision. So, you know, I think it's important too about the job duties and the training requirements. So, in our training, initially when we started, this is not something that was, we did a training in 2013. Well, coming in, um, first of all, we didn't even go on Western where they got it, where it's like the hardest place to cross over and all that. We did not do that in training in 2013. Um,
Sure.
I'm just, I'm just thinking back. That was not a part of it, was it, Kevin?
Nope.
No, we wasn't on Western. We was on a purple line or something, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay, because me and Kevin came out the same class. But yeah, so that was not the case. And we did walk through the tunnel, we did all that stuff. I wanna say within the last few years they done implemented this climbing up in the train. That's another thing. I feel like it's kind of rude and disrespectful that they're making it a weight issue now. They want to be like fit CTA when they just said people let, excuse my language, they just said people, they didn't let people sit in these booths and get booth asses. Uh, Pretty much. That's what didn't happen. You didn't gain weight. Some women didn't had 4, 5 children within 13 years. And children make some people gain weight, all type of stuff. So now you want to say they're unfit for duty, but some people you hired heavy. So how can you call them unfit for duty now in this moment when you hired them like this? So this makes them unfit. That's crazy to me. And a lot of people are out of work just for that alone, for being too big. Not even a medical issue. It's just they're too big and they can't climb because it was something they never did. So why take them out of service for something you just implemented and it's not in the SOPs once again? I feel like that's unfair because people have made their life around these jobs and this is how they take care of their family and pay their bills. And like I said, once again, it's not listed in the official job description. They
Um,
added it on, but they didn't put it in the job description.
Kendra,
Yes.
and it shouldn't be added in the job description at all. We got to make sure that that doesn't happen. Um,
Hmm.
also, under Dixon when he was president, he and Keith Hill put in the contract something called fitness for duty, um, and it was horrible. And nobody said anything. It was like 5 pages added to the contract just
Wow.
for that. And they said,
That's
"Oh yeah,"
crazy.
and then the bootlickers were saying, "Yeah, yeah, CTA workers they need to eat better and they're too lazy and fat." It's just disgusting that you would put
Have
that
you
in.
seen some of them union board members? They got
Yeah,
some nerve.
yeah,
Look at the pot calling the kettle black.
right.
Okay.
And
Okay. All right.
Catherine says in the chat, "I wonder if it has something to do with insurance costs."
Hmm. You know what, Catherine?
Mm.
That might be. It might trying to and maybe ATU gets a kickback. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because you haven't been like a combative person stirring up a lot of shit, talking about managers or anything like that, have you?
No, not until now.
Okay, well, but that's what I meant. Like you
Yeah.
Well,
never
hey,
started it.
hey,
That's
Kendra,
yeah.
I think
Huh?
I think I think one day you need to talk about that particular union official that showed up in your station. But it's up to you, when you want to do that. But
Um. Yeah.
I think it's all
Um.
connected. I think it's all connected, but that's me. But you have an agenda, so stick to your agenda. Don't let me mess it up.
I mean, no, you're not messing it up. I mean, it's out here now. Might as well. He was actually looking at my page not too long ago. He was in my story. So let's talk about it. What's his name again? Keith Hill?
Boss
Oh,
Hill, the
Is it?
anointed one.
Yeah. So, okay. Before this happened, I want to say about a week before this training happened. Um,
What year? March 2026, right?
yeah. So
Uh-huh.
this was okay. So the training I did was March 9th. The week before that, he I I worked Pulaski Pink Line. I picked that Monday through Friday from 6 to 2. I get there early. I get my stuff together. Whatever, whatever. I was there, minding my business. It's 6:15. I keep seeing this man walk around. I'm like, dang, he looks familiar. I don't know where I think this face at because, okay, so at the Pulaski Pink Line, you have the 157 bus that goes around. It goes around. So now, and back then, the Pink Line didn't have a bus to come around, so they got a 157 bus now. He was there, and I see him keep going to both sides, looking at the bus. You know, he's dressed kind of casual, so I'm like, he looked like somebody. And I said, "Sir, do you need help?" He asked me a question. Before this, I had a situation with a bus driver. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But long story short, he was like, "Did you get into it with a lady?" And I'm like, "No." And he was like, "Oh, because the microwave got taken from the station, which I didn't take. A manager took the microwave out the other booth that was for the 241 employees, pretty much. But I feel like I was getting accused of taking the microwave when I don't have no control over that. I'm not management. They barely care for me. So like, come on now. But the lady did approach me and threaten me, and I did put papers on her. Nothing ever happened about that. So the lady kept calling in about this microwave, her and I guess other employees. So Keith Hill comes and he tells me he's waiting on Donald Barnes and Rich Porter, and I'm like, what the hell? So now they're asking me about this situation with this woman in this microwave. I keep explaining to them, you need to ask the manager who took the microwave. I did not take the microwave, y'all. They act like I took the microwave, put it in my car, and took it home, and I got it plugged up in there using it. That's how they made me feel, and I was like, I didn't take the microwave, whatever. So the woman at hand was not even there. So it was another bus driver that they was talking to. Um, After all that was said and done, they left. And next thing you know, it was that Friday at 1:55 p.m. I get off that too. I get a call from the clerk telling me that I gotta be at a refresher training that Monday at CTA University. And in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. I thought the training was every 2 years. That's another thing. I thought the training was every 2 years. They like, well, we just got an email saying you got to be at the training. I'm calling Friday. I'm trying to call the admin manager. Never could get in touch with the admin manager at 54. They're claiming she's in a meeting, blah, blah, blah. They keep giving me the runaround. All Friday, I'm trying to call to see why am I not going to work and why am I going to this training. Um, Long story short, when I went to the training, that's what it was. It was the refresher training. I kept asking Penny, my coach, why. She tell me I came back in the odd year. That's a lie. 2024 is not an odd year unless I don't know. It's 2024 odd year.
It was an odd
Because
year. It was an odd year because, we didn't get enough snow.
oh, okay. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I came back at the end of September 2024. So she said it was an odd year. Then she also stated in text message that the instruction department was behind and that this was getting me caught up. Huh? I said caught up on what? I've been discharged. So y'all getting me caught up on being fired? I'm not understanding what you're saying. So she just made all type of excuses. I asked why I never received my rail card. That was another thing. I never received my rail card, which will state 2 years. I never got it. So I said, did I not receive my rail card for this moment right here? It seemed like you all had this plan because initially when I came back, I didn't get back pay. I was put on the last chance agreement for 6 months. I could not get in any trouble. And if I did, I could not have no union representation and I would be discharged, cut and dry. I, by the grace of God, weathered the storm in that. I was going to chemotherapy. I changed my off days to Sunday and Monday just so I could go to chemotherapy on Mondays and do what I need to do. They had me literally on the extra board. I weathered the storm. I did. So in those 6 months, they thought they had me, and they didn't. And then I was able to pick, and I was doing good. I was thriving, and I ended up getting my FMLA. That was another thing. Um, FMLA. I wanted to talk about that too. Well, FMLA, when you have it, they get mad about us having FMLA first and foremost. How you mad about me having something that I don't even get paid to take, like management or supervisors or whatever? I'm not getting paid for this, but I need the day off. So if it's a situation, let's say hypothetically somebody is on their way to work and have an asthma attack. In that moment, you dealing with your health, you call FMLA. They will try to still get you for a procedural. They have did that to me twice, telling me that I didn't call within the time frame. What does it state that at? It doesn't. That you got to call at a certain time for FMLA. FMLA is just what it is. When you take it is when you take it. Um, and with that being said, for people who don't know who are still working there, if you ever have this problem, ask for unforeseen paperwork, unforeseen circumstances. Because when they try to play you and do that, ask them, can I get the paperwork for unforeseen circumstances? You fill that out, and then of course I think it's the GM or the senior manager have to agree to what you're saying. But it's just everything with CTA is wordplay. So you gotta, if you don't know the language, they will play in your face. They will definitely play in your face. And it's kind of disheartening because it's like fear in the workplace. A lot of workers be afraid to speak up. They be afraid to ask questions. They be afraid to challenge them because of retaliation or being labeled difficult. Because I know I'm labeled difficult. I
Me
know
too.
management has tried to help me so much. Oh my God, they did. Let Latarsha tell it. They didn't try to help me so much, and she saw it. She was there. So yeah, which is a lie. Management didn't help me do nothing but get me fired. That was it. They didn't care whether I came back or whether I lived or died or any of that. Nobody called to check on me. No wellness checks. No anything. So unforeseen. That's what it's called. Unforeseen circumstances. Just so everybody knows that. So,
I got that on the
uh,
screen too.
oh, you do?
That little piece of paper they have that says short-term disability procedure,
Uh
and
huh.
there's a heading unforeseeable review process. So if you cannot
Okay. Yeah.
follow the above procedures, you must follow the above procedures as soon as practicable. An unforeseen reason must be approved by leave management. You are
Yeah.
required to
So that.
cooperate, providing documentation, confirm it was unforeseeable, and follow the required procedures. Um, so yeah, and there's a form for that. They don't say that in this, but it's there.
Yeah, it's a form that you have to get from the clerk. Because I don't even think Local 308 has that as a form that you could like PDF and print out or any of that. Do they or no? I don't think so. I've
No,
never
I
seen that
mean
form
I
on
give it to people as a union steward, but that's it.
there. Okay. See, that's because you're one of the good guys. That's why. But yeah. So some people I feel like they kind of suffer in silence because they don't feel supported. Um, and it's heartbreaking, you know. The advocacy, the communication, the protection. We pay dues. So you expect representation. I don't care if, as a union rep, you feel like what I'm asking is stupid. As a union rep, you supposed to assist me. You supposed to help me. Grievances are supposed to be handled transparently. Um, I just feel like the union, they don't advocate strong enough.
They don't.
Oh, why did the manager take the microwave? Hold on. I just sent it. It just popped up. What's the question? I can't see it no more. Hold on.
Why did
Why did
the manager take the microwave question? Was it a
okay.
241 manager? Keith Hill, president of Local
Oh,
241, is spending time talking with 308 members about a missing microwave. Management likes to
okay,
take
so
the
that's
microwave.
the
Really weird.
okay, so that's funny. Um, this what was happening. It was cold in the station. So the people in the so it's two booths at Pulaski. So one booth is the one kiosk is the CA kiosk. The other kiosk was just the kiosk. It used to be like the janitors used to break in there, whatever, whatever, before the bus came over there. Um, so the power had went out on that wall. The janitor's closet, everything, there was no power. Three times the electrician came out. So every time the power went out in that booth, here come the 241 members coming over. Can I charge my phone? Can I do this? No, you cannot, because if they see a cell phone in here, they're gonna say it's mine and I'm gonna get rolled up for it. Absolutely not. I kept calling the power in. The last time I called the power in, the electrician came out and he stated that this is going on because they're using that microwave over there too much. My thoughts, I thought they could have a microwave. They're 241. I don't know what the rules is for them because they're breaking over here. This is becoming their break room. So normally in break rooms you have microwaves, right? Um,
Yep.
no. A 308 manager took the microwave. She said no microwaves. So she pulled it out the wall because when she came over and she was speaking with me, she said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, the power keep going out. They're mad. Everything is not working over there. They can't use the microwave when they're gonna break. Blah blah." Oh my God! Why did I say that? They wanted to cut my neck off for saying something about the microwave. Honestly, I'm not a 241 employee. They're breaking here. I'm thinking this is their break room. I don't know that you don't supposed to have a microwave because you had this microwave before I got here. So I'm not knowing that she took the microwave out. So when she took the microwave, a lady ran up in my face telling me that I was a shit starter because I got their microwave taken. So she kept calling in until she got Keith Hill up there. So and then Keith Hill came down the Bonds and of course Rich Porter, which was insane to me. I was like, this is insane.
This type
So
of
yeah,
thing never happens unless Keith Hill's involved. Keith Hill, and it's my opinion. Forgive me. This is your class, sister. But I just have to say
no,
I'm
it's
in
fine.
class, and I just want to say Keith Hill is behind you being laid off. He's behind all of this. He does this to people. He doesn't help us. He does this to 241 members too. It's not like a 308 241 thing. It's just anything to get us fighting each other as bus and rail people and to keep him in power and keep those bosses happy. I'm
See,
done.
I
I
believe
didn't,
that.
I didn't know anything about him until this moment. I didn't even really, I mean, I knew of him, but I didn't even know who he was until I was like, "Do you need help, sir?" That's how you know I really didn't know who he was because I'm thinking he's somebody that's lost in the station. Hey, Kevin,
Hey
I see you put
Kendra,
your
I
hand.
believe I believe that because he had those bus drivers watching me every time I run in and out the bathroom over at Garfield.
See, that's crazy.
I
I
believe it.
don't, yeah, because I just was like, I kept, keyword, I didn't take the microwave. I didn't take the microwave. I kept saying I didn't take the microwave. He goes, "Hey, I went to the rail manager who took the microwave. Is there that I'm not too sure of? Because I haven't been back at work. So the last time I was there, the microwave was still gone. And then that rail manager, I actually told her, I said it kind of sarcastically, I'm like, you got me over here about to get beat up because you took the microwave. She was like, oh no, the microwave don't supposed to be in there. And at the time she was on vacation when they did it. So when she came back, she actually went as far as putting signs up in that booth saying no microwave.
Oh, they
So
torture us. You got Robert with his hand.
yeah, Robert.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I agree with Kevin. Everybody knows Keith Hill is an undercover snitch for the CTA. He works for the
Oh,
CTA. And I just hope the members wake up and the retired already know it. They said it. They said it to the media. He's a snake. He's a
Definitely.
snake.
yeah, but
He's a rat. He's a snake. And they should never trust Keith Hill. And I don't even understand. Well, I know why they vote him back in because he saved their job so many times. But we need
yeah,
somebody
but you
who's
know what? Not to cut you off, with saving jobs, you're not saving everybody's job. You have your picks and chooses.
oh
Like you
yeah.
said, he's a snake. So he's gonna save the people he like job. And the people he don't like, he gonna hurt their livelihood. That's not okay. I feel like that's how Penny McCoach is. You help who you like. It's not about a like thing. You know what I'm saying? This should never be taken. This is business. We work here. We're, you know what? It's a blessing if you meet people and y'all connect in a way where you can just like kumbaya or whatever. But if you don't, it's still a business at the end of the day. If I'm a manager or if I'm a union rep and you're a manager and we're friends, Robert, when it comes to us being at work, I got to do my job just as well as you got to do yours. I can't expect you to do nothing less than your job, and I hope you would expect the same from me. You get what I'm saying? But that's not how they work. We go and sit in these discipline meetings, and they sitting up, eking and had lunch and damn near kissing each other's ass. You be like, "Hey, I'm right here. You don't see me, so you just gonna let me get a 3 day suspension in the CCI? You ain't gonna say nothing? Oh, you'll be all right. But I missed the 3 days. That's 24 hours out my check. What do you mean I'm gonna be all right?
That's all
Yeah,
right.
it's
You'll be back.
it's horrible.
Yeah,
We got some 240 representatives that go into these hearings and tell the members, just sign this. You know you did wrong. And they call this particular union rep the prosecutor. They gave her the nickname the prosecutor because they know she's horrible.
Which
You
one
might
is
have
wow.
that?
Michelle Townsend.
Oh, she's the vice president.
She's the vice president now, but she started
Oh
off as
wow.
as the union president. I mean, the union rep for 74th Street Garage. She earned the nickname the prosecutor. Sign this. You know you did wrong.
Well, I got a funny story real quick about a union rep. What's his name? Spencer. I don't know what's his first name.
It's
What's his
Brian
first?
Spencer. Brian Spencer.
Okay, Brian Spencer. At the time, I was out of Harlem and Lake on the Green Line. I refused, which I just got educated about the last Q&A, that you don't never supposed to refuse to sign a agreement. You're supposed to put your name and then put something in the comments, which I didn't know. So I used to refuse to sign. In this particular time, I refused to sign the grievance. I get home, I look at the grievance. He didn't sign the Kendra Eashkins. I say, dang, you done forged my signature. That ain't even my name. You think you done forged my signature and spelled my last name wrong, you dummy. So I called him and told him I didn't do that. And then he said, oh yeah, I do that to members. That's what you're supposed to do. So I contacted Penny. He needs a education class on being a union stewardess. You do not supposed to forge nobody's signature. You don't do that. If they don't sign, you sign in your spot. You don't sign in my spot, my name. That's illegal. Of course, he's still a union rep, you know. So
A very beloved
Right. He probably got a
union rep.
promotion. They love union reps like that, especially
yeah,
CTA. They save
yeah,
CTA a lot of money.
absolutely.
I bet it's a lot of
But the
kickbacks
thing
involved
is,
too.
you say what?
I bet it's a lot of kickbacks involved, whether it be
Of
monetary
course.
or administrative.
Of course, these trips, these special food dinings, these whatever. But
Yeah.
then Sharon Green made a statement that there's resources for employees when they're out of work, but she never shared the resources. Where's the resources that you're talking about? You're talking about people creating false narratives, but you too busy wanting to argue with Eric that you never put up a list of resources that they have because you were sent to try to deter what was going on. That's what it was.
Hmm.
So it's crazy. But let me fast forward. So as I was going through this process, I filed with everybody, y'all. I filed EEOC, Department of Human Rights, I did ADA. Um, at the time, that's all I had did. ADA told me go to EEOC, so I did the EEOC. EEOC is so backed up. My EEOC date is in October. Department of Human Rights, it takes 16 to 20 weeks, so it's still pending. They haven't given it to the investigator. So at this point, I'm CCing Penny and James Battle, and I'm steady asking questions like, "What's going on? What's this? What's that?" My grievance initially was denied. Um, and it looked like Tisha Shabazz, which is crazy. That's another crazy thing. She's not even my manager. My manager name is Crystal Newsom. I'm out of 54. Tisha Shabazz is out of Forest Park. They said because the pick was going on, that's why I had to deal with her or whatever. So with that being said, she denied the grievance. So I amended it. I did another grievance, and I kept being told it was gonna go to the second step. I never knew what the second step actually was. Nobody told me what the second step was. I've asked several times what the second step is. Second step is to James Battle. I asked Penny McCullough a question. I have the email somewhere, but in the email, the questions I asked her, she told me those were questions I need to refer to the labor board. So she couldn't help me in good faith. She was just kept telling me that it's not a part of the bargain agreement. They wouldn't listen to her anyway. Why wouldn't they listen to you when they your brother and sister and you hang out with them after work? Why wouldn't they listen to you? I didn't understand that. So she told me to file a labor relation charge, and I did against ATU. I did. So I filed a labor relation charge against Local 308, and I put her and James Battle on it. It does have an investigator investigating it. So I just recently, he called it a flyer. He sent me a flyer in text message telling me that I have to show up June 1st for the board meeting to see if they're going to take my stuff for arbitrated or whatever. The funny thing was, this grievance that he initially, well, this flyer that he initially is talking about, that he sent me, the grievance was from September of last year. So I was confused. I'm like, but what about now? You're talking about September, but what about the situation that's at hand? I left it alone that day. And that morning I woke up because it was still kind of on my mind. I emailed, but this time I emailed, and when I emailed, I CC'd Penny, Eric Brazier, and James, and I emailed it to James Battle, but I made sure I put Eric in as my witness. So in that email, they tell me that they're going to present my grievance from March, but you didn't tell me that before. And in the email, she's conversating with James Battle, and James Battle is conversating back with her. Not once did they say anything to me. It's so juvenile. These are senior citizens acting like this. It's really juvenile. You're too old for it. You know, when you get to be that age and you blessed to still be living and have your limbs and walking, you should just be grateful. You shouldn't have this little demonic, evil, whatever it is going on in you because you blessed. You're the president of the company. You making so much money and you still unhappy. You do unhappy things. You do evil things to people. That's not okay. It's not. You know, it's just I don't know. Like I said, I've been through this so much that it makes me just wanna. I ain't never been the type that's just like I ain't so private, but it's like this here is kind of therapeutic talking about it because sometimes people don't even like if you talking to a family member or a friend who doesn't work for CTA, they're not gonna understand what you're saying. They probably think you just talking out the side of your neck. But for people who actually experience this, it's like, okay, y'all understand what I'm going through because you probably had a similar situation or whatever the case may be. Because these people will lie on you and create a narrative about you that's untrue, which I feel like in that last board meeting, she did. So it's like now I have to go before people who already have a perception of me, which is unfortunate because they don't know me personally. So it's possible they might vote it down. And then when they do that, I'm gonna have to turn around and come back June 9th and go to the membership meeting and pray enough people come to even get a vote to go forward to keep my job. But the narrative has already been put out there that I'm just this, I'm a liability, uh they didn't help me before and all this. Huh? Like the last time I did a reasonable accommodation, they was literally trying to give me 3 months off work. I said I can't afford that. I'm just coming back to work. I have no money. So how are you gonna give me 3 months off? I have no money. I have to make up for lost time. I literally had to pull my pension to make ends meet. I had no medical doing chemotherapy. That was the hardest shit ever. I don't wish that on nobody. Nobody. They took me out October of 2023. I literally had just had two surgeries. I had the surgery in July and the surgery in September. I come back to work, they let me work 2 weeks and discharge me after that. Immediately, no medical, no nothing. So now I gotta try to get a medical card. That's hard. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. My treatments had got stopped for like a month and a half. It was crazy because I didn't have no medical. It was just like, and I had to pull a pension to pay for medicine. So now I'm literally, somebody is message. I don't know who that is. Sorry. But now I'm literally, you know, I'm building. I'm building myself back up. So I'm back at work. I'm building myself back up, which I've been doing, trying to pay off what I owe in pension. Because it's like now I'm starting all over again. I am literally at my wits' end with this job. I'm tired of starting all over because somebody feels some type of way. I'm really tired of that. I shouldn't have to go through that. I've applied for this job and got hired because of my work ethics and what I do. I've never been one of those CAs where I ain't got beat up, I ain't got jumped on. Thank God, none of that. I treat people how I want to be treated. I work the job and I have no problem. I work in some of the Pulaski Lake, Pulaski on the Pink Lake. I work in some of the most hardest stations that people hate and never have a problem. So it's just like everything should not be personal when it's business. If I'm a union rep, I'm gonna support you as the union rep. I don't care what your life is outside of here. We at work. So if I'm a union rep and Kevin calls me and he needs me, I'm gonna be there for Kevin. If Eric needs me and I'm a union rep, I'm gonna be there for Eric. Like I'm gonna do what needs to be done, and I'm not gonna sit in there and make you feel unsupported and agree with CTA. I'm not gonna do that. That's not right. So I just feel like we got to do better. It's good to educate ourselves on these policies because, like I said, reading is fundamental. If you don't read the policies, they will play you. They will play in your face. It's good to keep a legal document with them, text, email. Do not talk to them on the phone because they're big liars. They will lie. They will lie, and they will lie. I was told by Penny McCoach that they only help pregnant women. Pregnant women only get an accommodation. I asked her later on, with that conversation we had, could you put that in writing? She never responded because she knew it was a lie. So it's just about, I'm just trying to make people aware and make people understand their rights. Knowledge is power. And I just feel like as employees, we deserve some type of transparency, communication and support people. Like we gotta support each other. This is our livelihood. This is how we take care of our family and pay our bills. This is not it's not right.
Hey,
And I
Kendra.
just wanna also
No, go ahead. Finish that and then
I,
bring me in,
I
please.
wanted to say this.
Mm.
I appreciate Eric. I really do, y'all. the support he showed me through the situation, I appreciate it. No matter how he feel about people personally, um, I can honestly say he has been one of the very few people to consistently advocate for me, checking on me, helping me bring awareness to my situation, and encouraging me to keep speaking up. And I mean, I haven't I haven't heard anything from anybody else. Nobody. No clear answers, nothing. So besides the June 1st, I gotta be at the executive board. Um so throughout this process I just feel like outside of him, I have not had nothing like as far as union representation, nothing. Nothing. So even with the labor relations charge, I did that. I did a lot of stuff beforehand. And then when I talked to him, I told him everything I did. So it's not nothing he's coercing me to do. I know people be feeling like that, but no. I am I am very smart. I know how to take care of my business. This ain't my first rodeo. He just came in and was just like, okay, I work for you. That's all he always say. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I tell him what I want to do and he go with the flow. So that's how we pretty much been doing this thing. So I just wanted to kind of give awareness to what's going on because I definitely have felt unsupported for a long time. So like I said, it's not about creating no division or something like that. It's just about being honest and about my experience. People will praise people and be like, oh, this person is so great. They do so much for me. But it's like, yeah, they do that for you, but they don't do it for the union. They don't do it for the members. They don't do it for everybody. They do it for you because of the personal relationship y'all have. Eric do it for everybody. It ain't about a relationship. He cannot know you and he gonna help you. That's Eric. He has the heart. He care about people. It ain't about who you are. What can you give him? You don't gotta pay him or take him to lunch or none of that. He gonna help you. Just it's genuineness. So, and that's something we definitely need. We need genuine people who actually have a passion for it and doing it because that's the right thing to do, not because of what you gonna get from management or if I do this to this person, what comes out of this and all that. That's not. It's unfair to treat people like that and play with their livelihood. Because such thing is not gonna say. I was gonna make a joke, but it's bad. I was about to say people do go postal, y'all, but not me. I ain't gonna do it. But go ahead, Eric.
No, no, yeah, but I do. Thank you. Yeah, you didn't have to say all that, but, but the I every month I sometimes a couple times a month I get calls from members who want to do violent things, um, against managers, union officials, or themselves. I've had to talk a few members out of killing themselves. Um,
Wow.
it's and it's sad. It's just the same crap all the time. It's just the same crap. And I wanted to mention, give everyone a little context for the grievance situation. Um, so Kendra got this flyer, and it's a letter. It's not a flyer. She and I were just making jokes about it all week. But she got the letter, and some of y'all have gotten that letter. Your grievance is going to be up at the board meeting. Come down at 9 p.m., blah, blah. But there was no grievance number. And so, um, we said, well, could you please tell us what grievance this is for? And then he gave the grievance number. And I could tell from the grievance number it was not the March grievance, which is about her being laid off, right? And so Kendra figured it out and told me, no, that's a grievance that I did when, what was it again, Kendra? That,
They gave me a procedural saying that I didn't get somebody off the train and they was trying to call me, whatever.
right, right,
Yeah, it was a bunch of bull on that too,
right.
because that didn't never happen. But
Yeah.
I
And that
have been
happens.
found the and never heard nothing about it
And we see that
until
a
now.
lot. we see that a lot. I see that those kind of grievances on the board at the board meetings a lot. And um, uh, what was unusual, what I want everyone to understand, that typically it'd be a little bit longer before we'd see that grievance. Okay, but it's not too. It's not rare. It's just most of the time it's like a year and it's falling off your record. Okay. So it's just so stupid. That's another story for another time. So then Kendra and I said, well, let's push the March one. So she responded and said, well, we need, or we respond. I don't remember exactly. Me and Kendra just kind of work together. It's like tag team, whatever. But I'll just say we said to the vice president, uh, her being laid off, not being back at work since March is a priority. Can we make sure we deal with that grievance so we could get her back to work? And then I think the response, Kendra, you can correct me, was that, yeah, it's going to be that too, right?
Right. Yeah, it
So,
was. That was the response. Oh, we're gonna. Oh yeah, we're working on it now, and that's gonna be presented at the same time.
and so I put in the grievance number for that one. And I said, so please confirm this grievance number is also being brought up. And he said, yes. So I want everyone to understand the context of that. That is very rare that a March grievance, even for something like this, where they say she's out of service, the elevator, Eakins elevator, right, is out of service. She had a big sticker on her head, out of service. That's rare that would even come up this soon. So Kendra explained an unfair labor practice charge with the Illinois Labor Relations Board. And I want to help people understand that a little bit too, because that's a government entity. And a president told her to file the charges, but our president didn't tell her how to do it. And when I file my charges, I don't file charges against the union, never have. And I never will. Okay, I just philosophically, I don't, that's another story for another time. But that's just what I do. I file charges against our employer. But even when I do that, there are some times when I cite specific sections of the Illinois Labor Relations Act, the labor board comes back to me and says, oh, no, 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 only your president can file that. So here the union president told our sister, who doesn't know a damn thing about the Illinois Labor Relations Board, tells her, yeah, go file a unfair labor practice charge. Or go file a complaint with the labor relations. So she does it. And she files it against the union. So people will say, well, why would she do that? That's terrible. Well, why would a president not tell her? The president should have told her, yeah, here, let me help you out. Here's the link. Okay, you download that. Let's type it up. Come on down to the office. Or whatever. Let's like what I do. Why? Why make her? So now she puts charges on her own union. And then
Yeah.
the investigator says, or the labor board has to tell the union president a member has put charges on you. And now they got to answer for it. And now they're looking at, oh my God, her charges are what? No duty of fair representation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Local 308
Unfair
ain't
labor
representing
practice.
me. Yeah. And so now they're like, how do we answer that? Because we certainly are not representing her very well. And then she gets this letter. And the letter says, we'll come on down for your grievance, but it doesn't say the grievance. So then Kendra says, what's the grievance number? And they say, the grievance from last year. Aha! I told Kendra, they're tricking you because they're going to bring you down and then they're going to hit you with both grievances. And you're not going to be ready for the second one. And and you're going to be there. You'll be, I got it somewhere here on my phone. And they say, well, we'll just have to vote to not arbitrate, you know. And I told her, I said, let's confirm it. We confirmed it. Now she's ready for both. But her concern is now they're tainted, right? Because our president said she and the other people said she's basically a freaking lazy slacker. So
And the liability, don't forget, I'm a
sorry,
liability.
sorry, late liability. God damn. So now my problem, and I'll present that to all of you here on the call, and Kendra. And Kendra, I was just thinking about this.
Okay.
They're gonna bring you in. Hi, Sister Kendra, how you doing? And she's gonna, I'm fine. Well, we're the local 308 executive board. Tell us why you're here. The most stupid question. It's just a total setup, a total boss talk. I suggest you say, why did you call me here?
Right.
You know,
That part.
right? And
Cause you
make her talk because she's gonna run that by you. And we're gonna make this video public, so she's probably gonna watch it and be like, okay, I better not say that. But uh, Kendra's gonna say her thing. She's gonna have a stack of documents. She's gonna answer questions. Bah, 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 right? Then they're gonna
uh-huh.
send her away. They're gonna, okay, you can leave. We're gonna discuss it we'll call you right back. And then they're gonna go. And some dope may do this. I move not to arbitrate. Second. And here comes Eric. Could we discuss this first? Can we discuss that this, the stirrup and the SOP and the this and the job description? That's one thing that might happen. The other thing that might happen. Now, I'm telling you all, I've been in enough of these meetings to know how they go. Nothing will be said. Kendra will walk out, and Mark Weems will say, all right, we need a motion. What is the board going to decide on this issue? And everyone's going to be looking around. And then I'm going to have to decide. Do I say I move to arbitrate? Then Penny will count half a second and say, that motion died. Then maybe silence. Maybe she or Mark will say, okay, board, what is your motion? And someone's going to, maybe Brian Spencer or Corey Carr, one of the greats, will say, I moved out to arbitrate. And then Spencer or Corey Carr, I second. Or Latarsa. Or Cassie Collins, even. It's like
um
all these CAs just hate the CAs for some reason, but they love the boss. But anyways, then we're going to have a vote. And that's will be a show of hands. And that's where we will see the traitors. They will reveal themselves. So I'm going to have a problem. So I'm asking you all, and Kendra especially, guide me. Do you want me to say nothing? Do you want me when they kick her out? Okay, they'll
mhm.
kick her out and they'll talk about her like a dog. What do I do?
This is crazy. It's honestly, it's sad that I even have to go through all this. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have even been taken this far,
Kendra, if
honestly.
you don't even, and this is a weird thing that I'm posing this on such a public forum, so you could just say,
It's
"Yeah, let's talk about it later, Eric. Shut up." That's fine.
okay.
Yeah, but I just want to put that out there. No one really has to say anything. Because this is,
No, I mean, but
yeah,
it's kind of disheartening that it puts you in a situation because it's like when you get in these rooms and you're advocating for us, it's like you are advocating alone, which is unfortunate
yeah,
for us. And by you doing that, you deal with so much scrutiny and disrespect from them because they're disrespectful, and that's unfair. I mean, I appreciate what you do, but I hate what you have to go through. You know what I mean? Because everybody should be on one accord, but they not. It's like
mm,
them versus you, and that's unfortunate.
yeah,
So
yeah. So, you know, there y'all have it. That's what we're dealing with. So, and Kendra and I will figure out our strategy. Um, down, doggy, down. Yeah,
right, tell Scooby to be quiet.
I'm a, I'm a mute. I'm a mute you there, brother.
I'm
But
sorry. He hear the fireworks out here.
send that dog after the union presidents, brother. Let's bring him.
Believe me, I thought about it. I promise.
And bootlickers. You better vote to arbitrate this one, pal. We got him on.
I
Woof.
was gonna say, do anybody got any questions or anything or anything?
Well, just
Because I
know
feel
you
like
got my support 110%.
I appreciate that.
Whatever,
Thank you
whatever,
so
whatever,
much.
whatever you're doing, Eric, you got it 110% plus, and whoever riding with you got mine 110%.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for everything you say and do.
Yes,
Yeah,
Any
yes.
brother
any way
Kevin.
any way I can help either one of you. I'm a phone call, an email, or a Facebook message away, whichever way you want to come with it.
Brother,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah,
Same
brother,
here.
brother Kevin
Same
keeps
here.
them,
It
them
goes both
managers.
ways, kid.
Whew, man, he keeps them managers on there till you like, yeah, what's this? Who's this following me today?
They got they got the right one, buddy.
You want the new doors, right?
Oh, there's another one. Yeah. Hey,
You want the
you'll love this, Kevin. Um, so I was in a meeting with we call her Manager Hell, and she's just burning people left and right all the time, And I'm I get out, I go outside the shop. I have the car today, just I'm taking a little quick 1 hour from the house or in back, And I see Manager Hell parked. So I bring the car like this, and the Manager Hell's parked here, like facing here, and I come this way. I roll down the window, put up my camera, and leave. You, I just like to spook him out. Oh my God, he's surveilling me. So y'all do it all the time.
Hey, look, I don't want to use Kendra's platform for this, but a lot of stuff that I've been telling you, Eric, I don't have the Cook County Sheriff confirm it.
Yep, yep,
It's not. It's our platform. I was just bringing awareness, but it's for everybody. It's not just
Yeah,
about me.
but
It's
yeah,
for.
I
It's
don't
for.
want to take away from it. I just wanted to bring
Yeah.
that up because it's funny.
No, but it's
It's
it's it's
funny that
informative. You need to talk. I mean, you might
you
not
know
feel
what?
comfortable, but
It's just funny that everybody else know this, but they keep denying it.
yep. I
that's what they
remember
do.
every time your grievances would come up, brother, they'd laugh. I want you to keep writing them, by the way.
Yeah,
Please.
Well,
yeah.
I just wanted to say, Eric, I don't know if you remember me, but I do appreciate all that you do. You know what I'm saying? It's a job that goes unnoticed. Kendra know I love her. I'm behind Kendra. You know what I'm saying? Seeing a lot that's been going on with Kendra that's really unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? And um
Literally.
just to know like how the union, like I've been saying a lot of little back and forth, and the union is supposed to be a union, which is supposed to be one. We all supposed to be together. And just to, like how the union is divided, it just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? We all supposed to work together. The main job is for us to look out for each other and not for CTA. You know, and I appreciate that because you are a person that that fights against you CTA, which that's what a union's supposed to do. The union don't supposed to be working with CTA. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Not at all.
We supposed to be against them, and I do appreciate it. And Kendra, I've learned a lot from Kendra. You know what I'm saying? She be, Kendra be on her shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendra's a very smart woman,
Yep.
and she's just not gonna go down like that without a fight, which she shouldn't even have to be fighting. It's just common sense what she's going through, and people, it just shows you the real how people act up in this company. You know what I'm saying? Kendra she ain't done nothing to nobody. She don't mess with nobody. You know what I'm saying? And to
Yep.
see all the hate towards her is just absolutely crazy. You know, when we're all in the same union, and so we supposed to be working for each other and working with each other.
Yep.
You know, so I do appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You standing up for her and just being behind, all the people that you be behind. It goes unnoticed, but it's a job that somebody has to do it.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because we see in the union that a lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? And our fight is against CTA, not with each other.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Brother Jones. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. He done kept me out of trouble. I ain't gonna lie. We was working together, so he's seen a lot of the stuff that I went through personally, like the good, the bad, the ugly. At times, I would be at work trying to work. I'm going through my menopause, early menopause because of this breast cancer, and I'm sitting here working. I'm irritated, and here comes somebody, here comes the manager, here comes whoever, nitpicking. They're calling me on the phone, nitpicking, and I'll be ready to go off. And it's just like sometimes I was grateful for him being there because he was the voice of reason when I needed it. Because it'd be like I saw red and he was there to take me off the ledge. I was grateful for that. And sometimes it would get so bad and I would be so irritated that I would call FMLA in the middle of my day and go home.
Hmm.
I
Ain't nothing
literally
wrong.
would call FMLA because it'd be like it's too overwhelming. I'm dealing with these bus drivers. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. On top of dealing with my health, I have no problem coming to work.
You know,
I know the
people don't
circumstances of me coming to work
people
like
don't
this,
have any
but
empathy. They understand that she's going through breast cancer. You know what I'm saying? That's a fight in itself. You know what I'm saying? If that was your mother, if that was your sister, your daughter, it'd be a different, like, that's how you should sympathize with that alone. One of our coworkers is going through this, and to just not understand that is absolutely crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait a
she's
minute.
already
Some of
going
them
through a
are.
battle.
Hold on. Some of them are going through it, but they're being accommodated. I'm the
Mm,
liability. They're not.
mm.
So that's what it is. Some of them are going through. You'd be surprised how many people have it and they're being accommodated. I'm the only one that's a liability.
And
You
they
know.
are given stuff that has nothing to do with their job for work, like light duty work. Okay, so
Yeah.
I know one in the shop, and then when I said light duty, I remember in the board meeting too. I was like, "Look, just give her light duty." And Penny said, "There is no light duty." And I said, "Really, really, for you to say that?" Because she has someone very close to her that is in light duty. But now there's no more light duty, just light duty for you. I know
It's
someone in
her
the shop who
husband.
got light
Her
duty.
husband. Her husband. They
Okay.
say he said it 311. Her husband. I know it's recorded. Her husband. Her husband is battling. And I hate that he's going through that. I've actually had a personal conversation with her when she stated this to me. I've sent her things that she can, he can do holistically that I've done, sour sap, whatever, whatever. It's her husband. But he has not missed a paycheck. He's not living paycheck to paycheck. He's working. He's being accommodated. He's not a liability, but I am. I'm tired of like sneaking and not wanting to say it. It's her husband. Say it. It's her husband. It's her husband. So I know they probably ain't gonna vote on me at all when I go to this meeting.
Well, well,
But
we're gonna
it is
make
what
a.
it is.
You know what it is, Kendra, and this is what I tell the members. Okay, this is why it's so important to be active in the union, even when you hate the people who are elected. Is make them do what's right or prick their conscience so much that they quit, you know,
Mhm.
because they can't take it. They really can't. When members show up at these meetings, I'm telling you, the union officials are so miserable when we
Yeah, but
make
you know why
quorum.
members don't show up?
Yeah,
Because the union officials have already made them feel so
yeah,
unsupported. So they be
yes,
like, F that, I ain't going to that.
yep,
For what? And
yep,
when I sit in this room with the union rep, you sit in, you congregate with management instead of talking to me trying to solve my problem. So
yep,
why would I want to go sit up in the union meeting with you when I done
yep.
sat in these offices with you and saw how
It's
you
it's a
operate?
clown show, and I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
It's like you already going through so much in your life. Don't nobody got time to be dealing with that BS. That they act so crazy and that you it's ridiculous. And it's like you
Yeah.
already you dealing with it so much at work. Like you don't feel like and in life, you dealing with so much in life. You don't feel like going to these union meetings on your off time
Yep.
to be sitting up here dealing with this. It's no professionalism. It's not professional at all. It's just a clown show. Like and a bunch
It
of
is.
a bunch of grown kids. You know what I'm saying? Like these be grown people acting like kids. And
I
that's the
said
worst
that
part.
earlier. I said a bunch of senior citizens that ain't got no nothing. Some of them is well over the age of 60 and just crazy.
Um,
It,
let but let me just make this point though for Jazz. And just finish the comparison. So when we show up and take control of the meetings, they are miserable. They're very upset. And yes, they let it out. They do terrible things and they say terrible things, right? But when we don't show up and that they can and then they love to shut down the meeting for lack of quorum because there's less than 25 people, you will never see such big smiles on their faces. They are scared of you all. And when they see me there, and when you all show up, all of a sudden they're checking to see who's in good standing. They see me and you talking. You see what I mean? They're like, hey, brother Eric, it's me, Jazz. I'm like, oh, what's up, brother? And they're like, oh, God, there's another one with the boogeyman. He must, let's check if he paid his dues and if he sacrificed his firstborn. I mean, they're just sick. So I hate the meetings too. I just want to let you know. I hate them. I hate these board meetings. I hate these membership meetings. And and that's why I'm like, well, I'll run for president then so we can make them fun. You know what I mean? Like whatever. And they'll be online like this. But but the way it is, it's never gonna do anything for us. So I don't blame you for not going. But listen, everybody, if the board votes not to arbitrate this grievance, I want to tell you what's going to happen if they don't arbitrate. If they don't arbitrate, that means June 9th, it's going to be a Tuesday. I won't be able to be there. I'll be working. I think. Wait a minute. I think I have a vacation that week. Well, whatever. If I have a vacation, I'll be there. Don't worry. But let's just say I'm not going to be there. Everybody needs to show up. We need 15 people who are pro Kendra, and that will tilt the votes to her, okay, for arbitration. Now, but it's not over because what sucks about arbitration is the union presidents may take it directly to the CTA, not to the arbitrator. And they will go, hey, boss, such and so and so. Can we trade so and so off for Kendra here? And they'd be like, okay, we'll trade them off. Da, da, da. It's sick. Okay.
Yeah, so that's how they do then. Because I'm
And
sorry
hang
to
on,
cut you off.
but
Because that's how they did me twice. So they do a settlement agreement.
that's not with an arbitrator. You
No.
understand that, right? But they're going to say it goes to arbitration, right?
Mm.
Okay. So this does happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I say this does happen. Okay. This could happen. And then it's going to be like, hey, Kendra, hey, hey, sister Kendra, you get cut back to work without back pay, but you get your seniority, and you're going to get this lapel pin that says you're appreciated. And you're going to be like, back pay? What? And so the other thing is it goes to the arbitrator, and it will be there for months. It might be 6 to 12 to 18 to 24
Hmm.
or more. It's very secretive. The union presidents have a relationship with these arbitrators that is similar in love and loyalty to the managers that they have relationships with. I haven't been able to crack the atom of understanding of the depth of that relationship, but I'm on my way. I just need time. And if I make president, it'll be even more. I could get in there faster to figure this out and expose it to everybody. So arbitration is not necessarily a good thing. The best thing that we want is for the CTA. This is what that I think we should really demand publicly now. The CTA reinstate Kendra. Hashtag reinstate Kendra. Put her back. Quit with the ladder crap. She'll be climbing the ladder after the freaking cancer is gone. Okay? And she can climb your ladders all day up and down, and you can check off and give her her rail safety card. It isn't that cute. She can climb a ladder, which she will never do. Okay. And the managers will climb on her back and harass her. Where's your elevator status board, honey? Whatever. Fine. But reinstate Kendra. That's what we want. Simple. Simple. And there'll be no arbitration, no need for it, no need for secret meetings. Just reinstate. But meanwhile, let's get ready to fight because arbitration is a step. And if she can get that, then that means she's still in the union. Okay, she still can be active. So I and she can do things. I would love for her to get credits and run for office. You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
Oh,
Ah, oh, be quiet, Kendra. I'm gonna put you on mute. No kidding. It's your show. But no. Anyone got any questions about what I just said or disagreements? Okay. I mean, if I said something offensive too, just say it. I apologize. Okay. All right. So Kendra, sorry. Here you go.
no, I mean you summed it up. I don't know about the uh running for nothing, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh if I have to, it will be greatly appreciated if people can show up for me. I know some people work and they can't, and I understand that. But if it comes to that, it will be definitely greatly appreciated. For sure. Hopefully it don't have to come to that, but who
Yeah.
knows? So
Yeah.
yeah.
And by the way, with the grievance, by the way, y'all, with the grievance, she could still pursue unfair labor practice charges against the CTA. She could still pursue EEOC. She could still pursue attorneys, whatever she wants to do. She can. There might be some holdups there based on the grievance, okay? But you know, just because it goes to arbitration doesn't mean we have to be quiet. That's my point.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
All right.
Well, I appreciate everybody who showed up. It's definitely greatly appreciated. And hopefully we all learned something from each other. Like Brother Jones said, we're supposed to work together, not against each other. At the end of the day, that's what a union's supposed to be. When the union see, when the management see union, they supposed to be scared. That's how the jobs I've had in the past. That's how it was. The sometimes they didn't even like to see the union rep coming because it's like, oh God, we got to deal with them. But when it's them, it's like they kumbaya and they cool. It's a union is not supposed to be made up of being friends with management. They're supposed to work for the members. I just keep saying it because it's like I don't think they get that. I really don't. I don't think that was something that I don't care if and sometimes I hate it because it's like it makes me feel like the union should be a third party, where the it will be a situation where it's not so personal. Because when it's done this way, it's personal, especially because they didn't work together. Oh yeah, we came in together. This is my friend, and he a manager, and I'm a rep. So I can't do him like this. But it's like it's at the cost of other people's livelihood because you want to keep these relationships real. That's not okay. And another thing, being told that first of all, I didn't even want to go fund me, y'all. A few people encouraged me to do it. I said, okay, I am grateful for whatever was sent to it. I truly appreciate it. But for somebody like the union president to speak on my finances in a meeting is crazy. To say anything about me personally outside of what the situation is at hand is crazy. So I mean that right there is not appreciated at all because now I have to go in this meeting and I have to be the bigger person because I've been so disrespected by multiple people. So I gotta I gotta come here with the armor of God on and don't say nothing and get me kicked out of this room and be around snakes. That's hard. I'm dreading the day. Literally, I'm dreading it because it's like so many bad things this narrative has been created, and now I gotta go sit in front of these people after I'm like, I'm a op to them. So it's crazy to me to have to even go through this at this age. Like, you're forcing me to start my life over because you feel some type of way. Like, what? I don't get that. I'm tired of starting over because of somebody feeling some type of way. It's not right. And I know I'm not the only person that has been through this. So maybe if we all get together, the majority.
Uh-oh. You got muted. Say it again.
Did I?
You said if we get together, the majority, and then you disappeared. Try.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, majority rules. So the more people that we get together, the better we can make this union. So yeah,
And that's
Even
the
if that
that's all I
key.
means
got
you
to
being
say.
a union stewardess.
Huh? I'm sorry. What did you say, Ty?
Even if that means you being a union stewardess.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Well, she's recruited. Um, she's recruited. Initiation was successful. You're on your. It's too late now, Kendra. Yep. Too late. Too late. Mhm. Yeah, we just initiated you. I mean, you got Kevin and Jazz and me and probably Kathy. So yeah, it's too
She
late.
does
Yeah,
a she does a
cat
lot for people that she does a lot. She
behind
does a
closed
lot
doors.
and she don't want the recognition. She just do it because that's the type of person she is.
That's what leadership is.
She don't want the
That's what Eric
accolades. She
Brazil
just she
is.
just
That's
does a
what
lot.
Eric Brazil do. He do
Yeah,
the same thing.
Yeah, he
yeah,
do.
yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I'm just a
Yeah,
crazy
you
guy
do.
throwing rocks through windows. But but I wanted to just one quick thing is you talked about a third party union. So, you know, people say, yeah, we need a union, we need an outside union and stuff. And I just want you all to understand some perspective here. It's a good point for sure, but I did a FOIA request on all of the latest collective bargaining agreements and tentative agreements of all the unions that are representing CTA workers. And I found every single one of them, which includes Teamsters. Teamsters actually represent a small group of workers at the CTA.
Mm,
All of them did the secret waiver of the paid sick leave that is our human right. Every single one of them. The
Mm.
carpenters, the iron workers, electricians, the Teamsters, all of them, all those unions, the machinists, they all sold everybody out. The Teamsters represent also a small group of managers called RPM project managers, and they made sure they got paid sick leave. Okay, so just understand it's not so much the union is outside or inside or what its name is. It's if the members control the union. So if the members control the union, there's no way that the leadership would hide a waiver because none of the members know it. I'm the only dude talking about it. So I just wanted to put that out there for y'all. So take control of the union, like Kendra was saying. When we do that, it's over.
yeah, that's true. But it's just like, you know, some people feel like we need a third party because we aren't taking control. And then, like I said, you go in these rooms and they be so, hey, Kendra, it's Coco. I'm sorry. Hey, Coco. You go in these rooms and they be having all this conversation before you get there. They done had lunch and all that. It make you just uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable situation when your union representation is friends with management.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
You
bad.
know,
It's
so
bad. But we have to put
yeah, it's real
charges
bad.
on them. You know that. We remember, Kendra, you were a witness. And you helped fight it. They put charges on me to remove me.
Yeah.
And
I was there.
you all showed up and you shot it down. You
Yep.
destroyed it. And that's what we got to do to them. And if I make president, I got charges already drafted for them. So it's just up to the membership. Anyways, did Coco want to say anything, or because we're at the end? All right. Well, Kendra, is that it? Do you want
Hey,
to?
I'm sorry, y'all. I logged on late. I got my grandbaby. I'm sorry.
All right.
Um, no, I'll talk to you, Eric, and I'll talk to you, Kendra. Kendra, I'm gonna shoot you. Eric, shoot Kendra my number.
Yes, yes, yes. I was supposed to do that. I'm sorry. Thank you for
Yeah, I'm
the reminder.
sorry, y'all. I got on too late.
It's
It's
okay.
okay. Thank you. Anyway, girl.
You're welcome, girlfriend.
Yeah,
Okay,
Kendra.
guys.
Kendra, me and Coco had a nice conversation about you
What,
Thursday.
2 days ago?
Yeah,
Thursday?
yeah, it was at
Okay.
night. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's great. That's great. So by the way, she's very inspired by you, Kendra.
Oh,
See, that's leadership.
appreciate that.
That's leadership. Okay. All right. That's it. That's it.
Well, no, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the support. Like I said, it's bigger than me. I didn't do this for that. I just felt like I wasn't getting no answers, and anybody who knew more than me or knew some type of assistance I could get, that was the reason of me doing this. And I appreciate the outpour because I it was so unexpected because in my mind I'm just like so closed off from it. I didn't think it would be this, but I truly appreciate it. I am so grateful for the people who have reached out. And then, even in this, I'm still helping people. Like the type of inboxes I have gotten personally and how I can help them, I have tried. Any information I can give, I've been giving it. Like, I don't want nobody to go through what I'm going through.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah.
All right,
But I
everybody.
truly do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, see y'all later. Thanks. We'll hope to do another one, Kendra, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so hopefully after June 1st, I update y'all on what happened at this meeting. So keep me in y'all prayers, okay?
Yes. All right, y'all.
'Cause, yeah.
Take
Okay,
care.
it was a
Thank,
great meeting.
Bye bye.
Bye.
thank you, Kathy. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye.